out.
You can listen to us all over DC on 106.7 The Fan. You can listen to us in Richmond, AM 910, FM 105.1. Of course, you can watch us on the 106.7 The Fan YouTube channel as well. A lot of different ways to check out the show. Coast to coast, wherever you are, you can take us with you on the Odyssey app. Pause and rewind the program. It's always a great, free, available way to listen to G&D. Last year, Khris Middleton spent part of the season with the Wizards. He was acquired the previous season at the trade deadline for Milwaukee, provided a bunch of leadership in his age 33 and 34 seasons, and then finished the year in Dallas when he was shipped out. Because frankly, he was doing too much. Like, there was a stretch in there when he was a big reason why. I think they ripped off, if I remember, like 7 of 8 or 7 of 9 at one point, and you and I were starting to get a little uncomfortable about the success they were having, and I really wanted to get a couple of the veterans out of town, and he was one of them.
Yeah, like, good job, Chris, but enough.
He can still play.
Yeah.
He's not. I'm not telling you he's a great player, but he averaged double-digit points last season. He could be like a 10.4 or 5 rebound guy, but when his back is to the basket and he still does his like old man game thing in mid-range, he can still help you. So when I first saw this yesterday, I got to say, I'm in the mode of I want all the kids on the floor. I want minutes for my young athletes. This ascending phase should be sinking or swimming with them developing. I did not love the idea, but I started reading a lot of what smart basketball people were writing last night. I don't hate this. And my logic is he can play the 3 and he can play the 4, which is redundant to what they already have on the roster. But he is the perfect locker room guy and mentor for someone like A.J. Debonsa. There's some things he's going to pick up from him within his own game, physically, back to the basket stuff, I'm sure. But he was so beloved organizationally at the highest levels last year that they are, I think, sought him out. Like, they said, how do we get Khris Middleton? He'd be the perfect guy. Now that we're actually trying, when he was accidentally winning us a few games last year, let's get him back here to help out. My caveat, Danny, is I just don't want him to play that much.
Yeah. If he's your Anthony Gill, fine. He's a $6 million practice player and mentor. Okay. So I was
assistant coach, basically.
Seriously, I was talking to the gents in the producer room about this during the break. And this is what the old regime would do. I'm not saying, hold on, stay with me. The old regime back in the day, in the time before time, they would go, we consider Khris Middleton our first-round pick, Ernie Grunfeld would say, and they would sell their soul to get that 41st win. Never again, please. That's why we have all new people, smart people in here. I will not sell my soul to be okay. If organically playing Alex Sarr, A.J. Debonsa, Will Riley, and Keyshawn George, and Trey Johnson, I play those guys, and I win 42 games, I'm doing spin kicks. I'm doing cartwheels because I'm on my way to something. If I'm doing it with Nene, Trevor Ariza, Marcin Gortat, and a bunch of trades I give to Phoenix for future first-round picks of Jags to get my 41-42 wins, that's a futile exercise. And that hamster wheel annoys me. If this is close to that at all, where if Khris Middleton's playing 25 minutes a night, it hopefully means that, hopefully is the wrong word, but it must mean every young player under 24 has a sprained ankle and can't play that night. Like, I need him to not be playing very much, break glass in case of emergency, when guys are tired or guys need to pick me up, the fourth game out of 5 on a road trip, the second out of a back-to-back. There's room for multiple guys to get minutes, but it's got to be as a mentor role to me more so than it is a player.
My reflexive response when they got him, which was to not be excited yesterday.
I was not, I can tell you.
In this sign-in trade, I was like, oh, come on, really? Didn't we just do this? We're done. We're out of this. But that's based on the fact that he took too many minutes from young guys last year.
Mm-hmm.
It annoyed me that he would get so many shots last year when the point was not him. The point was not ever to win, but they landed the plane. They did what they needed to do. They traded him.
Yeah, to your point, they won 5 of 7 at one point in January with him.
They traded C.J. McCollum. They understood the assignment. They said, this is getting ominous. This is nerve-wracking. Let's get these guys out of here. We need to make sure we get A.J. Debonsa. They did it. So, revisionist history, I don't need to go back and worry about something that didn't happen. I just need to know, and I have to assume that this is the case, that they will not be taking minutes away from the guys that play those positions that I want to get those minutes. Guys like Debonsa or Coulibaly or Will Riley at the 3, some variation therein. And I will tell you that I read a piece in The Athletic. the reporting, I think it was maybe a co-byline. David Aldridge was involved. I think Josh Robbins maybe too. Mm-hmm. And they'd clearly been talking to people around the Wizards because they're like, this is their thinking on this. And the logic was, he is not coming here to stunt the development of any of these players. He is coming here to help develop them, essentially, which is very important vernacular. Like, that word choice I like and I'm cool with. But your starting group right now of Trey Young, Keyshawn George at the 2, DeBonsa at the 3, Davis and Sarr in the front court. Then your next group, Bub Carrington, Trey Johnson, Bilal Coulibaly, Will Riley, DeAndre Ayton. Now I'm 10 deep. Now, hey, Khris Middleton. If you want to fit in where you get in here, you're now my 11th most important guy. And that's how they need to think about this. And
there will be moments, and listen, sprained ankles happen. Anthony Davis and Alex Sarr both have missed a ton of time in recent years. We know that. It gives you a little bit of lineup versatility, a little bit of a different thing where you go, in the era of closing lineups and end of quarter things, and okay, let's be a totally different team for 10 minutes on the floor and go, we have an undersized stretch 4 to kind of change the dynamic here and get guys open looks in a different way. I welcome all that kind of stuff. But my immediate reflexive action, kind of to your point, I had something similar, is I go, oh my God, it's last year, where it's McCollum and it's Middleton, and I'm sitting there going, I'm looking at my watch, so many kids need minutes, and they've done this thing, and they do it in the NBA. It's a little bit different than how I would do it. I don't belong in the NBA. I'm a pudgy zilch, but they do this earn minutes thing, earn minutes, and I'm going, yeah, but if you don't care about wins or losses, why not just throw them into the deep end, and you can then take minutes away instead of starting out only handing minutes to Khris Middleton, who's not part of the future here, and now he's back. So if it's in a different role, different capacity, he's cool with it. Again, by all accounts, a wonderful dude, great teammate. Everyone, both the players and the coaches, front office, everybody loves him. I can get down with it as long as we're not doing the same dance that we did in November and December and January of last year, where that's a starter, that's 30-plus minutes a night. I think that's off the board, obviously 30 minutes a night. But if he's more than a part-time occasional contributor, again, if he's Anthony Gill 2.0, clapping the first guy off the bench to high five you as you're coming off the court and say, hey, on this play you did this, and this is what you can look for. If it's something other than that, I'm going to be annoyed.
They're not bringing him in here, I don't think, to do that.
Heavy minutes, you mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I don't think we're going to be annoyed. I think it's exactly what you and I want it to be. They've done too many things that are smart to not give them the benefit of the doubt. They have had too clean and too fluid and too strong an operation. Every single time I start to get nervous about something they're doing, and I go, I don't love this, they zig. In other words, like last year, I'm like, they got to do something about this Middleton-McCollum situation.
And then they did.
Both were gone.
Yeah.
The only thing I haven't liked is the Trey Young extension. And there's good reason for why they did it. It can both be bad business, like quote unquote a bad contract, and also be the thing they needed to do.
Drill down on that. Is it it's not my favorite thing, or is it you actively are going, I don't like it? Do you know what I mean on the scale?
Terrible contract.
You think it's bad? Okay.
I mean, don't you? I mean, that is an awful contract.
I'm probably closer to, I don't love it. That's instead of I think it's bad.
But yeah. That's exactly how I feel. Mm-hmm. And the reason is because the fact that it's a terrible contract, which I think is unequivocal, is like my passion for disliking it is watered down by they had no point guard. Mm-hmm. He's an offensive engine. They didn't have the guy that's going to go out and give him 25 and 10, and now they do. Like, okay, so it would be the equivalent of if someone's mad that you overpaid at quarterback, and now you've got a guy that's going to give you 28 touchdowns and 10 picks and give you a chance in every game. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Like
yeah.
You just paid a ton of money to be pretty good at that position. I'm signing up for the good, the bad, the ugly with Trey Young, and I think he got way overpaid. I don't know if Brian Windhorst was reporting what he said or he was just kind of floating this, but there was a quote from him. Was that on Pardon My Take, by the way, Strober? Because I know he did an interview on Barstool. I think it was with PMT, with Big Cat and the crew with our guy, PFT commenter. But he had said something like, the Wizards had to give Trey Young the contract because he didn't play last year, and that was the exchange. This is what he said.
When they did that contract, they'd already decided they were drafting DeBonsa, okay? So they were like, Trey Young is going to be our franchise point guard, okay? And here's the thing, though. They already promised him they were going to sign him when they traded for him. And the reason that they did that was because they needed him to not play.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if he had played,
We win
they
too
might
many
have
games.
won a bunch more games, and they might have not gotten the number one pick. And so if you're going to be a free agent, the last thing you're going to do is like basically admit that, say that I'm injured for 6 months. So they told him, like, Trey, we're going to take care of you. Don't worry. So we're on the same page. We're invested in you. We're going to bench you. So Trey already knew he was going to get paid.
So that to me sounds like this is not an opinion.
Interesting.
He's telling you what happened.
Yeah.
And if I convince myself that while I don't like the contract for Trey Young, it also got you AJ DeBonsta, do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like that contract is part of a package deal that resulted in them getting the number one pick because they had to promise it to him so that he didn't play, so that they could lose enough games to get DeBonsta. So it's like AJ and Trey Young at that contract. I could be a lot more okay with it.
And the reason I don't have, I know we're going to the weeds on this, but I think it's an important distinction that I haven't gone as far as to say that I hate this deal. God, I hate it so much. I keep going back to this. Look at free agents that have signed. Anybody that changed teams that got paid, I don't have all that much interest in. Right? I mean, that's kind of, so it's always if I won the lottery, let's say you win $200 million and you're going to spend it. The reality of being able to spend it on anything and then what you actually spend it on, it never quite matches the reality. So you're going to spend $212 million, which is a huge amount of money for Trey Young. I get that. I have sticker shock too. It's, whoa, oh my God. But it's, Ayo Desonmu changed teams as a point guard for $22.4 million per. I don't want him as my starting point guard. You look at Quentin Grimes, a guard, or Colin Gillespie changing teams.
Well, free agency
none of those guys
was
excite
bad,
me. Yeah.
Which Winger talked about and said, we don't even know who we would have spent on. This was he said it in this way. He said, Trey Young was our free agent choice. That was our free agent money. They just happened to trade for him. But see the Capitals. My rebuttal to that is, I don't necessarily care if just free agency was bad because you could still spend that money on sign and trades. That's how they got Middleton. You could find players that were not free agents and go out and acquire them and pay them that big contract.
All fair, but the perfect storm occurred of it cost them next to nothing. Someone was available that could help them. I would love, here's who I'd prefer. Shea, Cade Cunningham, Halliburton coming off injury, Steph Curry. None of those guys are available. You know
Correct.
what I mean? Like, so of a really small pool within a really small pool, it's not ideal. I'm not like gung-ho about it like it's the greatest thing ever. I also think the narrative around Trey Young has gone way too far to the other side, as if the guy can't even tie his own shoes.
But you're arguing as if I'm saying they shouldn't have done it.
I'm not arguing with you necessarily.
I'm saying he got way overpaid. I don't think that's debatable.
Well,
the market essentially dictated as much.
Yeah, I'm not even arguing with you. I'm just sort of going, let me just do a feelings dump here as to why I don't hate
I
it as
understand,
much.
but do you agree with what I'm saying? Like, I think both are true. I think he got massively overpaid.
Yeah.
And I think that why they did it actually makes some sense.
I think both are true. We're feeding out of the same trough.
But here's, I guess, to get back on track to just where we're at with the Wizards after the Khris Middleton edition for a moment. They're sneaky deep right now. Like, this is a pretty deep roster. I think they're going to make the playoffs, actually. We've talked a lot about the play-in game. A lot of this will be TBD on the kids. Like Keyshawn George coming on. If DeBonsa is your rookie of the year and a monster, what does Bilal Coulibaly or Will Riley look like this season? Those types of things. The only question I legitimately have about the roster right now, in terms of the depth, is I don't know who their point guard 2 is. And I've always kind of said I want to see Will Riley do that. And John Wall actually said as much on this station, which I loved hearing because he knows way more ball than I do. That's not what's going to happen. Bub Carrington is their backup point guard, it seems like. But other than point guard 2, where we heard that weird Russell Westbrook rumor, which I don't think is going to come to fruition, and after the Middleton thing, I'm good because I don't want to keep doing the old guy that's going to crowbar in for 25 minutes bit. But what else is there that you're not convinced on? Like at center, you've got Sar, Ayton, Vukcevic, who's a 7-footer, 3 deep. At the 4, you've got Davis, and if you want to go smaller, Middleton. At the in that 2-3 kind of tweener range.
Yeah, they got wings.
George. I mean, that's all they have, right? And they're huge, too. I just looked up their roster. They have 3 7-footers, right? Ayton, Sar, and Vukcevic. Then you've got... I was with Felix Akpara at the Nats game the other night, sitting in the dugout talking to that guy. He is massive. I think he's listed 6'10". I guess I'll believe that. I would have said he was taller.
He's got those broad shoulders
But,
and that length. Yeah.
Anthony Davis is 6'10" and change. Will Riley is 6'9". Juju Reese is 6'9". AJ DeBonce is 6'9". Deshaun George is sneaky bigger than I think he is. He's 6'8". Other than Trey Young, everyone on this team is 6'5" or more, right?
Yeah.
So what is Bub? I have to
Right
find
about
it.
that, 6'4", 6'5". But
Okay, so he's under.
But seriously, but
they're massive.
bigger guard, yeah, big point guard, wingspan, et cetera.
They love the length defensively.
Yeah, they're built in the Dawkins image from Oklahoma City. That's the school, and that's kind of they've all graduated from. So I do think that's a good point. I mean, to me, my question is for the prognosis. I'm sure that's the word. The prognosis. Have you seen prognosis? The prognosis of their season is how many games does Davis play? Who's Anthony Davis this year, and what's going to happen? Is it a please be healthy, fingers crossed for 30 games, the McCollum plan where he plays well and then he's gone? Is it that he's here now and this is just the thing we're doing because they're pretty good? I have no idea how to really predict this season
What
without
is your
having an
best
idea.
case scenario for the season? Like, what would you rather? Davis balls out, they keep him, and they make the playoffs as, like, I'm just picking a ceiling, but like a 5 seed or something crazy. And they're really good, and, like, the kids are awesome. Or they improve some,
It's a great
the
question.
kids flash, and they trade Davis. Because I think I would still take the second one.
Yeah, that's
I
a great
think it
question.
would be a year earlier. I don't need them to be good. I don't need them to be a playoff team. I don't really even care that much that they are. My joy from watching them, and I'm more excited to do so than I have been in years. I've been to a Wizards game or two at max for the last 4 or 5 seasons. I plan on going to plenty of games this year. But my excitement will be in watching, first of all, DeBonce, but like the rest of the kids kind of come into their own. I think I would prefer better play-in conversation. Davis gets traded, then no extension. He's still on the team going into the offseason, and they just made the playoffs as like the 7th seed or something.
I think that's probably right. I mean, my number one priority. So this goes back to when we talked about this year one for Daniels. Record, great. I care about Jaden Daniels. What's best for him? Because whatever is best for him ultimately is going to be best for all of us. Now, of course, they won a bunch of games and kind of went against a bunch of things that I thought would happen, but whatever, it was great. If you give me a scenario where DeBonce's rookie of the year and is an all-star, looks unbelievable, looks like the future, I'm not talking about good player, MVP candidate. That means Sarr took a leap and Trey Johnson took a leap and, Will Riley kind of continued on this track. And you've got nothing but hits and success stories, and that's the engine. And you've got Anthony Davis and Trey Young to sort of supplement the kids who are awesome. I kind of will go, I don't really care what else happens if I get that sort of dream scenario. But my ideal is probably what you're talking about. I call it the McCollum plan. Give me 35 games, Anthony Davis. Fingers crossed.
All
you
right.
stay healthy, and I'm shipping you.
All right, pick one of two. They don't trade Davis. They're the 5 seed and they win a playoff series.
Mm-hmm.
Or they move on from Davis and they get into the play-in and they lose.
That one.
Okay.
I take that one. Because I don't care about the playoffs for this year.
You don't at all.
Right.
What if they're really good in the regular season? Like a 3 seed. I'm just making up something insane, but
then I'll take that one.
you would.
Because that means you're in the. This is all happening faster. It's like the Nats.
Exactly.
Where I go, my plan was to be a lot better. If you jump 20 wins this year, that's as good as anybody could ever hope for. That still puts you right around 500 or just below.
You're still like at the back end of the playoff field or play-in.
Yeah, they're going to say we care about the playoffs. And if that means crunch time lineups of Trey Young, Anthony Davis, Justin Champagne, and Khris Middleton, I'm going to be furious, frankly.
See, that's
you know what I mean?
That's what would annoy me a little bit is as you're getting close and like now it's about every possession and every minute. And so the average age starts climbing, and in a world where, some backup point guard like Westbrook is in here or whatever, it's him and Middleton on the floor. Like that gets me back to my frustration of last year a little bit. But we can pose this question to people on the phones. 800-636-1067. First off, it's kind of a loaded roster. Sneaky right now. Pretty deep team that's been put together by Dawkins and Winger after the addition of Khris Middleton. Of course, DeAndre Ayton. I loved that trade, by the way. I talked to Will Dawkins about it at Nats Park. I was like, dude, congrats.
What a buy low candidate that is.
Couple of 2s. That's
Change
why
of
you
scenery,
have
yeah.
those. You literally just have them sitting there so you can. They're like candy on at Halloween next to your door. You just kind of throw them in the bag and hand them out.
Yeah, so he's not worthy of being the 1-1 pick and being a franchise-altering center. You think that guy can't play? You're crazy.
What's your best case or dream scenario for the Wizards this season? That's the question.